Consider for a moment if the essence of who you are doesn't merely disappear upon death, but instead embarks on a voyage so enigmatic, so hallowed, that its true nature has rarely been discussed. Edgar Cayce, often referred to as the sleeping prophet, shared profound insights into the genuine experience of the soul during the initial 40 days following our physical demise. These aren't vague spiritual concepts or eloquent figures of speech. Instead, they are precise, deeply impactful realities that possess the potential to fundamentally alter your perception of mortality and existence. Picture this scenario. Your physical form has grown still and cool. Your heart's rhythm has ceased. Yet your consciousness feels more vibrant than at any previous time. You observe all events transpiring around you. You retain the capacity for sensation and thought, but you are disengaged from the material realm. What follows is neither mere illumination nor obscurity, neither pure tranquility nor apprehension. Instead, it is a structured procedure, a sacred progression that dictates your soul's destination and the experiences awaiting it. And in Cayce's accounts, this period of 40 days holds paramount importance. For those pondering the mysteries of what lies beyond life, or perhaps if you've experienced the sorrow of loss and question the whereabouts of a loved one now, or even if you simply seek understanding that traditional paths might not illuminate, we invite you to continue. The insights we are about to share might challenge deeply held convictions, yet they hold the potential to offer profound tranquility to your spirit. We encourage you to share your reflections below. Every contribution is carefully considered, and if your perspective enriches our ongoing discussion, we will acknowledge it with a small heart. This is how we express our gratitude for your presence on this shared exploration. Furthermore, please remember to subscribe and activate notifications, ensuring you receive all future insights we present. Together, let us cultivate this expanding community. With a gentle intake of breath, prepare your mind to explore Edgar Cayce's profound revelations concerning the soul's journey during the initial 40 days following its departure. In the instant the soul separates from the physical form, the perception of time appears to cease, yet consciousness persists without interruption. This moment, Edgar Cayce characterized as a hallowed passage. Breathing has ceased. The heart lies still. Nevertheless, an exceptionally clear awareness endures. Not as you were when living, but through a deeper, more perceptive knowing. You perceive the room and hear your loved one's cries, yet touch is impossible, and they cannot feel you. In the moments just after passing, Cayce described a strange limbo for the soul, a phase where it grasps its body's separation, yet hasn't fully joined the spiritual realm. This moment brings questions, vivid memories, and profound self-assessment. Life is then reviewed by the soul, not as events, but as a chain of emotions. What was given or taken, whom it helped or harmed. Every action and intention returns with astonishing clarity. Cayce states the soul is judged not by an external force in this stage, but by its own higher self. This self, unbound by ego or illusion, sees everything as it truly was. This insight can feel tranquil or daunting. Cayce suggests that for the initial 3 days, the soul lingers near the physical body. This isn't voluntary, but a natural, required step in the detachment process. Like awakening from a dream, the soul needs time to fully accept its untethering from the body. It observes the funeral, hears the prayers, and senses the room's emotions. Sometimes it tries to communicate, wishing to bid farewell, comfort, or explain. But it swiftly realizes most people cannot hear it, not with audible perception. Only the deeply intuitive or emotionally attuned can sense its presence. This explains why some report a chill or sudden surge of emotion at a funeral. It's not imagination. It's the soul's final attempt at connection. As those initial 72 hours pass, a shift commences, a gentle pull. The soul begins to sense a drawing toward a higher plane. Cayce suggests this is when spiritual guides start to emerge. These guides are not strangers. They are familiar energies, kindred souls. We might have encountered higher beings or connected with them in previous existences within spiritual dimensions. Their very presence brings a sense of tranquility, much like a gentle whisper assuring us, "You are never truly solitary." Upon the fourth day's arrival, the soul commences its journey into what Cayce referred to as the intermediate plane. This realm exists as a dimension situated between the physical world and the celestial spheres. Within this space, the soul encounters no judgment, nor does it endure punishment. Instead, it receives guidance. This particular plane is uniquely adapted to match the soul's individual vibrational frequency. What precisely does this imply? It signifies that your soul naturally inclines towards a reality that mirrors its authentic spiritual condition. Should you have led an existence marked by compassion, personal development, and understanding, you could awaken within a radiant, serene setting. Conversely, if your life was shaped by animosity, avarice, or harshness, you might emerge in a locale that perfectly reflects those very energies, not as a form of penalty, but purely as an echo of your deeds. Cayce strongly asserted that these initial moments are not concerned with conventional notions of heaven or hell. Their true essence lies in the cultivation of awareness. The soul commences a profound process of self-comprehension, achieving insights that were unattainable during its time on the earthly plane. The layers of illusion gently recede. Here, self-deception becomes impossible. You cannot assign blame to others. Instead, you stand in direct confrontation with your core essence. For some spirits, this revelation can be quite shocking, while for others, it brings a profound sense of liberation. Between the 5th and 10th day, a new kind of transformation commences. The soul begins to encounter other conscious entities, some of whom may seem familiar, others entirely new. These are not mere spectral echoes. Rather, they are aware beings traversing their own unique spiritual journeys. Conversations unfold not through spoken words, but through the direct exchange of thought. Telepathic communication, as Cayce explained, serves as the universal language within the afterlife. In this realm, all is composed of energy. Your emotions, your thoughts, and your memories are openly perceptible, actively shaping your immediate surroundings. Therefore, if you carry feelings of guilt, they become tangible elements of your environment. If you harbor love, it envelops you like a soft, radiant light. It is at this juncture that many souls begin to internalize their first profound lesson. That consciousness itself actively creates reality. Cayce warned that some spirits become trapped at this stage, holding fast to their regrets and fixating on unfinished matters. Souls unwilling to offer forgiveness may linger in this intermediate plane for years, sometimes even decades, until they consciously decide to release their attachments. However, for many others, the journey continues. From day 11 to day 20, the soul often perceives what Cayce referred to as a calling. This is not an audible sound. Instead, it's a deep inner knowing, a gentle pull toward a place of instruction. Here, the soul begins to comprehend the structure of the spiritual world. It then journeys into what countless sources have depicted as the great archives of existence or the sanctuary of knowledge. Cayce asserted that these are not merely myths. They are actual locations in the spiritual dimension, accessible to souls prepared for growth. In this setting, the soul meets beings of profound sagacity, venerable elders, instructors, and mentors who emanate both empathy and strength. Their intention is not to condemn. Rather, they serve to illuminate. The soul is presented with insights, glimpses of former existences, prior decisions, unfulfilled chances, and dormant capabilities. This experience is not designed to evoke guilt within the soul. The essence lies in guiding it to grasp its unique journey, the reasons for its earthly arrival, its past successes, and the endeavors still awaiting completion. Cayce held the view that numerous souls willingly opt for rebirth following this phase, not under duress, but from a profound understanding that further tasks await them. With the passage of days into the 3rd week subsequent to physical departure, a deeply significant transformation commences. The spirit, now increasingly aware of its core nature and ultimate aim, begins to recall not solely the existence it recently concluded, but also its many prior incarnations. As Cayce explained, the soul is timeless, and during this particular juncture, the boundary between realms grows permeable. Recollections from earlier lives emerge into awareness, not as disconnected pieces, but with a distinct and guiding intention. The soul starts to perceive the intricate web connecting each individual existence, and how decisions made centuries past continue to resonate and influence the current moment. For certain spirits, this realization can be quite intense, as they recognize a pattern of having encountered and re-encountered similar teachings repeatedly throughout their journey. Conversely, others experience an invigorating surge of insight, as though the scattered components of their being's enigma have at last found their rightful place. A sense of profound purpose unfolds. Nothing occurred by chance, not a single connection, sorrow, or moment of delight. Each held deep significance. And for the very first time, the spirit beholds the complete trajectory of its evolution. This realization brings either inner calm or an intense yearning for spiritual renewal. Cayce explained that this is the juncture where numerous spirits make a solemn promise to return and rectify what they couldn't before. By approximately the 30th day, the soul reaches a steady state. It no longer feels adrift, no longer actively seeks. A sense of readiness begins to settle, prepared to advance, prepared to ascend. Yet one ultimate stage remains, one final looking glass. Cayce described it as the meeting with the higher self, a luminous, sacred manifestation of your being that has ever been, transcending temporal limits. This elevated self is not your ego. It is not your personality. It stands as the purest expression of your soul's fundamental essence. Encountering it feels unlike merely gazing into an image. It is akin to returning to one's true origin. For some, this convergence is brief. For others, however, it constitutes the singular, most profoundly altering passage within their spiritual journey. Your deepest self communicates silently. It reveals your true nature, not merely who you were during your time on Earth, but the essence you have always embodied. And it offers you a clear choice. Either remain within the spiritual domain to continue your learning journey, or return to Earth with a newly defined purpose. Cayce emphasized that nothing is ever coerced. The soul invariably makes its own decision. As this particular 40-day passage approaches its conclusion, most spirits have settled upon their chosen path. Those who opt to stay in the ethereal realm frequently become part of what Cayce referred to as the soul group, a collective of consciousnesses that progress together across countless lifetimes. This assembly serves as your spiritual family. You have encountered them before, and you will recognize them again. Some among them were once your parents, others your children. Still more were unfamiliar individuals who appeared precisely when their support was most needed. This is not mere chance. It is intentional design. The spirit begins to comprehend that love, not intellect, constitutes the ultimate currency of the universe. All else, influence, accomplishment, even suffering, eventually recedes, but love persists. Ultimately, this loving connection transforms into the gateway to what comes next. The nature of this chapter, whether it manifests as tranquil repose, a fresh beginning, or a spiritual elevation, is determined by the soul's ongoing progression. Yet, as the 40th day arrives, the voyage that commenced amidst stillness and uncertainty culminates in complete understanding. Fear no longer holds sway over the spirit, nor does it experience solitude. A deep knowing settles, recognizing that with the dawn of the 40th day, a lasting transformation occurs within the soul's intrinsic energetic framework. It is akin to one portal gently closing as another quietly unfolds. Edgar Cayce underscored that at this particular juncture, the soul has either harmonized with its subsequent period of advancement or has continued to be ensnared in a pattern of bewilderment, still clinging to earthly ties. However, for those spirits who have found serenity regarding their transition, who have confronted their deepest realities, welcomed their history, and re-established a bond with their sacred core, the path ahead transforms into one of profound tranquility. Cayce further characterized this condition as spiritual harmony. This is a particular resonance that the spirit connects with, enabling it to either advance to loftier dimensions, come back to our world with an enhanced purpose, or even stay behind to mentor other spirits embarking on their initial path. These aren't mere imaginings. As Cayce revealed, these functions are quite genuine and are a matter of choice. Not every spirit makes its way back to the earthly plane. A number choose to dedicate themselves to assisting others, perhaps supporting relatives, leading those overcome by sorrow, or operating within what Cayce termed domains of recovery and renewal, sanctuaries where spirits fractured by deep pain find solace and inner mending. Among Cayce's profound insights, a key revelation is this: physical departure is not the conclusion, nor is the 40th day. It represents a significant juncture, a sacred turning point. Much like a student progresses from one academic stage to the next, the spirit transitions into its subsequent chapter endowed with heightened perception, clearer intention, and increased illumination. However, Cayce also cautioned that this progression isn't a guaranteed outcome. Our post-transition experiences are completely determined by the manner in which we conduct our lives presently. When we disregard our inner spirit, pursue only material possessions, and decline to look inward, we arrive at life's ultimate transition unprepared, adrift, and disoriented. Yet, if we lead our lives with purpose, strive for inner development, offer service to others, and heed our conscience, we awaken fully prepared, ready to absorb new understanding, ready to grant forgiveness, and ready to ascend. This fundamental truth is why Cayce dedicated so many years to urging humanity to prepare not just for the moment of departure, but for the existence that unfolds beyond it. For the true journey of our being does not commence when our heart ceases its beat. It begins the instant we become aware of our own soul. So, what profound meaning does this hold for you right now, in this very moment? It signifies that every single thought you entertain carries weight. Every gesture of affection, each instance you choose to forgive, and every decision to embrace kindness instead of anger, these are far from trivial actions. They are, in essence, the very building blocks that construct your passage beyond this earthly realm. When your time comes to leave this world, as it assuredly will for all, you will not carry your wealth with you. Your achievements and titles will not accompany you. You will only bring that which you have cultivated within yourself. This is what awaits you during the initial 40 days after your transition. This inner cultivation is precisely what will shape your new reality. Therefore, begin your preparation without delay, guided not by apprehension, but by understanding. Cayce held the conviction that our existence is not merely human beings engaging in a spiritual journey, but rather spiritual entities undergoing a human experience. This deeper comprehension, he suggested, diminishes our apprehension of mortality and allows us to embrace life with greater completeness. Having now considered the soul's journey during those significant 40 days, a crucial inquiry arises. What actions are you undertaking presently that your soul will gratefully acknowledge in the future? Should these insights resonate with you, please share your reflections below. We genuinely value your viewpoint. If your contribution offers a meaningful addition, we will mark it with a heart as a token of our gratitude. You can support the growth of this channel by subscribing and activating notifications, ensuring you never miss future content. Kindly consider sharing this message with anyone who might benefit from hearing it. Your engagement is instrumental in helping us disseminate these uplifting messages. Keep in mind, departure is not the finality. Instead, it marks the genesis of an experience much grander. Let us pause to contemplate this thought more profoundly. Envision a loved one who has transitioned. You found yourself attending their memorial service. Tears may have fallen. Prayers may have been whispered. Yet perhaps you also contemplated, where do they reside now? What emotions do they experience? Have they found tranquility? Cayce's insights bring forth not merely comfort, but a profound response to that very question. Your dear one, in their distinct manner, traversed this identical 40-day journey. They revisited their existence. They perceived you. They recalled instances you might have let slip from memory. They sensed your affection filling the space even as their physical form lay still. And should they have been prepared, should they have embraced development, they were welcomed by benevolent guides, unburdened from sorrows, and guided toward the illumination of comprehension. Those who have passed have not truly vanished, not in the manner we commonly conceive. They are simply journeying along a course we have not yet begun, a path that will, in due course, extend its welcome to us as well. This is precisely why the wisdom shared by Edgar Cayce holds such immense significance. It serves to remind us that existence extends beyond the purely physical, that affection endures, and that our present actions resonate far past this current life. Now, envision yourself many years hence, arriving at your own ultimate instant. With your final breath, a deep stillness descends, and within it, you awaken. You begin to discern the faces of those who departed ahead of you. You perceive their thoughts, you feel their presence. All fear now vanishes, for you understand these unfolding moments, a result of your careful preparation. You recognize this as the genesis of the soul's true expedition, not its conclusion. With tranquil poise, you enter the reflection of your life's path. You embrace. You absolve. You ascend. This is the profound power of awareness. It is the true gift of this knowledge. More than information, it's transformation. As we learn more, we continue to expand. And through this expansion, a new form of courage emerges in our living. A courage gently affirming, "You are beyond this form. You are eternal." If this message resonated deeply, shifting your perspective on existence, transition, or the soul, let it not diminish. Carry it always. Allow it to guide your decisions. Allow it to deepen your compassion. And kindly share this message with others. Next, we invite you to like this video, subscribe, and enable the bell so you never miss what's coming. Please also share your thoughts, questions, or experiences in the comments. Every word is read, and should your insights prove truly valuable, we will acknowledge them with a heart. Collectively, we are nurturing a space for truth, for faith, and for light in a world that truly yearns for it. Your soul's journey doesn't await your passing. It truly begins now. And the deeper your awareness, the more beautifully that journey will unfold for you. Music.